All right, welcome back everyone. So next deck that we are trying is Slowking. However, as I go through this, you'll notice this is not the top 4 placing Slowking that happened right before Pitch Black released. And the reason for that is because I wanted to include Mega Slowbro. So let's talk about the two of them. I'll start with Slowbro, even though he's kind of a specialty inclusion. He's not the focus of the deck, but he is new in Pitch Black. So Mega Slowbro evolves from Slowpoke. It's a stage 1 with 330 HP. For 3 Psychic Energy, Shell NATO Spin does 180, which is not a lot, but during your opponent's next turn, if this Pokemon is damaged by an attack, even if this Pokemon is knocked out, place 12 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. So between the two of those, that's 300, and then if you hit into them again, pretty much nothing is safe. But again, this is kind of an inclusion for certain matchups, and it is not the focus of the deck. The focus of the deck is the Slowking with the Seek Inspiration, so it is just a 1-prizer. Discard the top card of your deck, and if that card is a Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box, choose one of its attacks, and use it as this attack. So the Pokemon that you're copying, there's 2 main ones. So the big one is the Kyurem, because you can use the Trifrost, discard all energy from this Pokemon. This attack does 110 damage to 3 of your opponent's Pokemon. So on the Kyurem itself, it's 5 energy, but on the Slowking, it's only 2, so it's a lot easier to use that way, and 110 damage is enough to knock out a lot of stuff, especially early in the game. Or it can set up for multi-prize knockouts. So really a lot of applications there. And then for your big hits, you want to do the Metagross, the new one that came out in Chaos Rising, the Metallic Hammer. Now this is interesting because it's 150 plus 150, but the way the attack is worded, the text under the attack, you may discard 3 metal energy from this Pokemon and have this attack do 150 more damage. So if you have the metal, you have to discard the metal. But if you don't have them, you can still use the effect of this, because in the Pokemon ruling, you do as much as you can. So even if you don't have the energy, if you can still do the damage. It's a weird ruling, but that's officially how it works. So Slowking can use it without having metal and without discarding any metal, 300 damage, which is going to be enough to one-hit KO a lot of things. And then in addition to that, you have the Annihilate. For the things that you can't reach on, use the Destined Fight. Both active Pokemon are knocked out. So ideally you want to use this against a Mega, one that you can't reach on, or like maybe you prize your Metagross, who knows. But you knock both out, they get 1 prize, and you get 2, or ideally even 3. Now to set up, there's a couple of different things in here, but you generally want to start with the Smoochum with the Delightful Kiss. Search your deck for up to 2 basic Psychic Energy cards and attach them to one of your bench Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. And I think Smoochum is in here because of Mega Slowbro. So if you want to go this route, triple attaching Psychic Energy can take a long time, whereas with the Smoochum, 1 manual attach plus 1 Delightful Kiss, you're good to go. The other Pokemon in the deck, Latias EX, usually for just the Skyliner, but also because this is a Psychic deck, you can use that Eon Blade attack. Same thing with Lily's Clefairy, 2 energies for the Full Moon Rondo, plus it gives dragons a Psychic weakness. So now your Slowking attacks that wouldn't have knocked out a Dragapult do. And then basic support staples, Fezandipity, as well as Meowth EX. And for the trainers, 3 Night Stretcher. That's important because you're going to discard those non-EX Pokemon to use their attacks, and sometimes you'll need to get them back. Max Pokepad, 1 Switch, Max Ultra Ball, 3 Wondrous Patch. This is really good for when you do discard those Psychics. You can attach one from the discard onto a benched Psychic Pokemon, letting you prepare the next one. Academy at Night. This is crucial. Once during each player's turn, that player may put a card from their hand on top of their deck. just one boss's orders, because since you have so much sniping capability, it does end up being necessary in a lot of matchups. Colress Tenacity, also important. Search your deck for a stadium card and an energy card, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Hilda is really good in here. Search your deck for an evolution Pokemon and an energy card, reveal them, put them in your hand, then shuffle your deck. Lily's Determination is just kind of a staple. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw 6. If you have exactly 6 prize cards remaining, draw 8 instead. Boomerang Energy, this is good for that Trifrost because you do have to discard all the energy attached. And if you discard it because of the effect of an attack, it goes back to your Pokemon after. Enriching Energy, this is an interesting one in here. And now this is a list that I copied. This was not my creation, but you attach this to a Pokemon, draw 4 cards, but it doesn't work quite as well as like in some other cases, like if you attach it to the Dunsparce and you shuffle it back into your deck, you're being able to reuse it. Or in the case of like a Megalopony, and you use a Wally's and you pick up the energy, now you reattach it and you're reusing it. So this deck doesn't have a way to reuse it, it's just kind of an emergency, here's extra 4 cards. Then of course we have the Max Telepathic Energy. As long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, provide Psychic Energy, and when you attach this card from your hand to a Psychic Pokemon, search your deck for up to 2 basic Psychic Pokemon, put them onto your bench, then shuffle your deck. And then also there are 5 basic Psychic Energy, because as I mentioned, you have the Smoochum that can attach with the Delightful Kiss, and then the Wondrous Patch that can attach from the discard pile. So yeah, we're going to try this out again. Mostly chose this list instead of a more tested list because of the Mega Slowbro. I think that this card could be really good, plus I love Slowbro. So we're going to try it out.